Economic crisis in America truth. No one is telling us. In the years leading up to the year 2023, almost everyone agreed that a recession was definitely on the horizon. Several experts told Al Jazeera that the United States is experiencing growing concerns about the possibility of a recession. This is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve, the country's central bank, continues to maintain a bullish stance in its efforts to combat excessive inflation, and policymakers are increasingly discussing the necessity of imposing some economic pain in order to bring pricing pressures under control. There is still a good amount of strength in the labor market, and that is going to allow the Fed to remain aggressive in fighting inflation. Edward Moya, a senior market analyst at OANDA, a foreign exchange brokerage located in New York, said in an interview with Al Jazeera, "There will be no relief from the price pressures. When we take a look at energy costs, we see that the decreasing trend that we have been appreciating appears to have come to an end, and it appears like oil and gas prices are going to be moving higher once again," he said. This past week, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its partners, which are collectively referred to as OPEC+, made the decision to reduce the amount of crude oil that is produced by 2 million barrels per day. In addition to the expense of electricity, this raises the cost of everything else that we do and everything that we purchase. As a result, the cost of everything, including food, goes up, explained E.J. Antoni, a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank located in Washington, District of Columbia. The United States Gross Domestic Product, GDP, which is a measurement of the output of goods and services, shrunk by 0.6% during the most recent quarter, following a contraction of 1.6% between January and March. In the event of a recession, the general rule of thumb is that there must be 2 consecutive quarterly reductions in GDP. The recession has already manifested itself in the first half of the year, the speaker said. The third quarter appears to be going in the right direction. But after that, it is impossible to predict what will happen. I believe that we are going to go back to being negative, Antoni stated. Although there are some indicators that hint to underlying strength in the economy, economists have not been unified in their conviction that this is the case. As we approach the end of the year, the anticipated economic slowdown has not materialized as expected. What can we expect from the year 2024? Experts believe that a fall in economic activity is still possible in the future. The forecast is founded on the same causes that led economists to forecast a weakening of the economy in the year 2023. Interest rates have been increased by the Federal Reserve in response to the rising pace of inflation. This particular dynamic has, in most cases, been the impetus for a recession, which is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth in gross domestic product. A few of the projections are overly optimistic and can still be avoided in the year 2024. Bank of America is forecasting a gentle landing rather than a recession, despite the fact that there is a danger of a recession occurring. According to the results of a study conducted by the National Association for Business Economics in December, more than 3/4 of economists, or 76%, have stated that they feel the likelihood of a recession occurring over the next 12 months is 50% or less. Larry Adam, the chief investment officer at Raymond James, stated that the company's base case is that the economy is experiencing a slight recession. According to the company's forecast, the beginning of this downturn, which could be the mildest in history, could occur during the second quarter. 40% of the NEB economists who perceive a decline in the forecast believe that it will begin in the first quarter, while 34% believe that it will begin in the second quarter. A slowdown may already be here, according to the perceptions of Americans who have suffered with high prices in the face of growing inflation. To this point, 56% of those polled by MassMutual in the previous year stated that the economy is already in a recession, while a survey conducted by Nationwide in this year found that Americans are afraid of a recession that is as bad as the one that occurred in 2008. In the new year, it is possible that layoffs, which were a topic of discussion at the end of 2023, will continue. According to Challenger, Gray & Christmas, a company that specializes in outplacement as well as business and executive coaching, 27% of businesses will lay off employees in 2023, while 21% of businesses anticipate that they will have to lay off employees in 2024. Taking these 3 actions, according to the advice of experts, can be helpful in preparing for the unexpected. Number 1. Decrease the amount of debt you have. According to LendingTree, this holiday season saw a decrease in the percentage of consumers who entered into debt, from 35% in 2022 to 34% this year after the holiday season. Those shoppers are carrying away an average balance of $1,028, which is significantly lower than the $1,549 they took away the previous year and the lowest since 2017. On the other hand, when interest rates are greater, the cost of those obligations increases. Approximately one-third of holiday borrowers have interest rates that are 20% or higher, according to LendingTree. In the meantime, the total amount of credit card balances surpassing a record $1 trillion this year. The amount of money you pay back on those debts can be controlled by certain actions. In the first place, LendingTree suggests that you implement a monthly payment automation system in order to prevent penalties for late payments, which may include fees and rate increases. You should make an effort to reduce the charges that you are spending on your outstanding credit card bills if you are carrying them from one month to the next. You may do this by taking advantage of a balance transfer offer that offers 0% interest or by taking out a personal loan. As an alternative, you could try contacting the credit card company that you are currently using and requesting a reduced interest rate. An important step is to select a method for paying down debt and to adhere to it. Number 2. Stress test your financial situation. In an interview, Barry Glassman, a certified financial planner and the founder and president of Glassman Wealth Services, commented that the extent to which a recession may impact you is mostly determined by whether or not you are currently employed. Moreover, Glassman is a member of the Financial Advisor Council that is hosted by CNBC. The fact that even people who are still working may find themselves earning less as a result of an economic slump is something that he pointed out. Because of this, it is a good idea to assess how well you would be able to deal with a decrease in your income. If you were to lose your job, you should think about how long you would be able to pay your bills based on the amount of money you have saved and any other resources you have available to you, he added. According to Glassman, you should stress test your income in comparison to your ongoing responsibilities. Make certain that you have some kind of safety net in place. Number 3. Increase your funds for unexpected expenses. Having even a small amount of additional cash on hand can be helpful in ensuring that an unanticipated incident, such as a car repair or an unexpected cost, does not deplete your financial resources. In spite of this, research has shown that a significant number of Americans would struggle to cover a financial bill of $400. It is recommended by specialists that you set up your savings to be automated so that you do not even see the money in your paycheck. In a recent interview with CNBC.com, Mark Hamrick, a senior economic analyst at Bankrate, stated that even if we do get through this period relatively unscathed, that's all more reason to be saving. I have not yet come across someone who has saved an excessive amount of money, he continued. Another advantage of saving money now is that the potential returns on that money are at their best level in the past 15 years due to the higher interest rates that are currently in effect. The Federal Reserve is anticipated to begin reducing interest rates in 2024, which means that these gains might not be sustainable. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.